Hey guys, this is Tony with Geek Designs, back to you with another graphic design video. Today I want to talk to you about how do you design a logo and what are the steps you should go through to design a logo. Now this isn't going to be a step-by-step tutorial, but I'm going to give you a rough guideline of what you should do to try to understand your client's needs, the design project, and how to get a good final product. Remember, design videos come out Mondays, so get subscribed for that if you haven't already. So let's talk about what you do to start a logo design project. Now, before you even touch a piece of paper, a pen, or a piece of software and a stylus, now, what do I mean by talking with your client? Well, there's some things you need to understand before you just start jumping into a logo. Like, what business is your client? What are their customers? What demographic are their customers? How much are their customers making in so that you know how much to expect? So, let's say that you are working for a client that's in a rich neighborhood. So, Charlotte, that's Ballantyne. Ballantyne's the rich end of the town. And you are working for, let's say, a beauty salon. Well, that clientele is going to be a lot more willing to pay a higher cost than someone that's just looking to go to Super Clips. So you need to understand that when designing the logo to establish that this beauty salon is a, what's the right word? A more established brand, a more premium brand. So you need to understand this, or else you're just blowing hot water. You're just making a logo just to make a logo. So you need to understand your client's customers. You need to understand your client's needs. You need to understand what their audience is and what demographic they are, and how much is that average of that customer bring in as an income so you can work with them. These are kind of the basic steps that no one really talks about or many people address when it comes to a logo. When you start a logo and you don't have these, you're misguiding it. You're making it based on ideas in your head and not the client's ideas met with your ideas and understanding of design. Now, after all you have all this research that you gathered, you can now start the design process. But before you even touch a piece of computer, you need to start with pen and paper. And that's step number 2. Now, you may have noticed that I didn't say start with pencil and paper. This was intentional. Now, when you start with pen and paper, that means whatever you put down on that paper is permanent. So it means you have to kind of either work out your mistakes or make sure that you make fewer mistakes, or just ditch a mistake and go to a new idea. Now, this is something a lot of people don't do, is actually sketch out their ideas. Now, there's a couple reasons you want to do this. One, it's faster. You can quickly get out ideas and make sure that you're moving in the right direction. These don't need to be final concepts. They don't need to be elaborate ideas. They just need to be enough of an idea for you to say, yes, this is the path I want to go down. No, this isn't the path I want to go down. Also, it allows you to not get distracted by all the tools on your software. So if you're an illustrator, there's all these fancy tools that you can apply right away and then try to work out this idea to the best. You don't want to do that in this process. This process, you're thumbnailing. You want to get out as many ideas as you can so you can get all the bad ideas out to get to the good ones. So this step is where you start to take those thumbnails that you created when you were working on a pen and paper and bring them into the computer. This is called finalize your concept. So now that you have a good selection of good ideas, you're going to start taking those ideas and furthering them. You want to make sure that they're not fully complete, but good enough for a client to look at and give some honest feedback at. This is where you want to start getting to the point where you could show your client, hey, here's some concepts I have. Which one do you like? Which one don't you like? But you need to ask the right questions when you do that. Also, always work in black and white at this point. Start in black and white and then add color. A quick pro tip, only add 2 to 3 colors at a time on one logo. 2 to 3 colors, 3 at the max. 2 is optimal. If you add too many colors into a logo, it just becomes incoherent and not pleasing to the eyes. Now here's a tip or a step not many of you are going to think that's coming, and that is respect your client's feedback. Now, what do I mean by respect your client's feedback? Well, after you start sending your client these initial ideas, you're not going to send them your thumbnails. You're going to work those out and get a little bit more of a finalized idea. Maybe start going in the computer then. You're going to want to keep bouncing these ideas off your client to make sure that A, you're going in the right direction, B, this is what your client wants, because at the end of the day, they're paying you. But you're going to want to do this periodically. But just because you're asking for feedback doesn't mean that the client's not going to say some weird crap. And they might do some weird things that doesn't make sense to you as a graphic designer. But this is a great opportunity for you to try out your communication skills as a designer. You need to step in and say, hey, I know you're trying to help me, but this way of communicating doesn't work best for me. This way does, not that way. Step in there, try that communication. If they decide to throw out a PowerPoint and try to draw something for you, don't get mad, don't get frustrated. Just say, hey, that type of communication doesn't work great for me. Just tell me what you're looking for, and I will figure out how to best put that into the design. A lot of designers nowadays just get in a hubbub when just clients say weird stuff or stuff that doesn't make sense. The thing is, they don't speak design. They don't know how to use the design language like we do. They're trying to use their language or their understanding of design and meet you somewhere in the middle. Don't get frustrated with them, but respect their feedback. At the end of the day, they are paying you. And if they don't see the respect coming from you, they could just go to another designer. So keep that in mind at all times. So this is a step a lot of people already know about, but it's finalize your work and refine your design. Now that you furthered your concept, you got your client feedback, you're now ready to take all that work that you've done and make a final product. Now at this time, you probably should have gotten back a couple times with your clients. I've never had a chance where it's gone, here's my design, oh cool, that's the one I want. Never happens, never does. That's why I say when people are on Fiverr and they say we can do a logo in 24 hours, it's bullcrap, it's not impossible. It's not possible. So, you've got your finalized logo, or you got your finalized approval idea with your client, you just got to make some last changes. I would say before you even package that logo up and send it to them, that you need to do a couple things. I would say send one more final look at the client. Give them one final pass before you start packaging it. Say, hey, here's a final look. Does it look good? If yes, package that sucker up and send it over. Now, when you're packaging a logo up, there's a couple schools of thoughts. I always say give them as many file types as they need. Everyone says that it comes down to vectors when it comes down to that. So you need to give them, what you actually need to give them is a web version, which is an RGB file with a transparent back and one without a transparent back. You need to give them the full color and the black and white version of that. You need to give them a print version, which is usually a TIFF, CMYK, with a transparent back, or also with a white background. Black and white and color again on those. Now here's where it gets a little shady. Some people say you should give them the vector files. Some don't. I'm on the fence on depending on the client. Usually I charge clients extra for those files because then that's my security blanket gone. But honestly, it's not the end of the world. With a logo, once you're done, you're done. If the client really liked your work and wants to come back, they will come back to get a redesign from you 5 to 10 years down the road. A lot of people don't realize that. Designs don't change, or logo designs don't change that often, if done right. So, once you get all those files sent, you package them up, you send it to them. But just remember that if it comes down to vector files, if a client asks for them, don't be hesitant. Don't be a stubborn mule about it. Just hand them over. It's not the end of the world if they get them. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you learned or have a better wireframe for how to design a logo and a better step-by-step process. If you want to see my personal logo design process of all the steps I go through to design a logo, just leave a comment down below and I'll get down there and I'll either say yay or nay, or I'll just make the video. Also, if I didn't explain something that well, or if you need more explanation on how to design a logo, Just get down in those comments and I'll get down there with you and help you out with it. Remember, design videos come out Monday, so get subscribed for that if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.